So here's a question for you. What does the British pound, gold, and the FTSE 100 all have in common? Well, they've been dancing around the markets like contestants on Strictly Come Trading. Some have twirled higher, others have stumbled, and all eyes have been on the next big move. So before you place your next trade, watch this. Good morning, I'm Francois, your market analyst here at ATFX Africa, and welcome to today's market brief. We've got three big movers on the radar, namely the cable, gold, and FTSE 100. So let's break down the fundamentals, zoom in on some charts, and see what the market is whispering today. Kicking things off with currencies. So the pound has finally caught its breath around $1.34 after sprinting through 4 consecutive days of wins. So this is their longest winning streak since August, but the spotlight is already shifting towards November. Why, you might ask? Well, this is when the UK Finance Minister, Rachel Reeves, unveils her budget. And let's be honest, when the word taxes is in the mix, traders tend to get a little jumpy. Add to that the Bank of England's cautious stance, and well, interest rates remain unchanged. No cut expectations until 2026. And CPI inflation is still hovering around 4%. Deputy Governor Sarah Breeden even warned that keeping rates high for too long could backfire on them. So sterling is caught between fiscal tightening on the one side and, well, a mix of Bank of England signals on the other. Looking at the charts, price action shows GBP USD holding near 1.3435. We've got mild gains in early trading, but it's hardly fireworks on display. On the downside, 1.334 looks like that immediate support for now, while a break below could expose that 1.34 flat level. Resistance sits just above 1.345, and if the pair could hold momentum, the next upside target could be around 1.352. For now, think of the pair as that friend who promises they'll be ready in 5 minutes. There's potential, but you are gonna require some patience. Let's move over to commodities, kicking things off with gold, which is trading around $3,860 an ounce, eyeing its 7 straight weekly gain. That's right, 7. At this point, it's not just a streak, it's a personality trade. Driving this rally is a toxic cocktail of safe haven demand and partial US government shutdown, and growing expectation that the Fed will deliver 2 more rate cuts this year. But it's not all glitter. The Dallas Fed's Lori Logan has been cautioning against overdoing the rate cuts, and equity markets are holding steady despite the shutdown, which takes some shine off bullion at the moment. Geopolitics, however, continue to add a layer of support, meaning gold's downside remains cushioned even as it drifts lower. Looking at the charts, the yellow metal has slipped to 3,845, but rebounded from that 3,820 region. Support is clearly stacking up around that 3,820 level and then 3,790. If those levels give way, 3,725 becomes the next zone to watch. On the upside, 3,865 is acting as a hurdle, with 3,879, that all-time high, lurking just above. A clear break above 3,900 could be the trigger for the next leg higher. Until then, gold's like a runner catching its breath, deciding whether to sprint or stumble. Finishing things off with equities, FTSE 100. So this specific index is taking a bit of a breather after 4 straight sessions of gains and fresh record highs. So the FTSE 100 finally hit that pause button, dipping slightly towards 9,428. The biggest drag? Well, Experian is currently down more than 4%. And this is after Fair Isaac's new FICO score distribution system threatened its business model. But it's not all doom and gloom. Tesco popped up 4.5% after raising profit guidance, and the 3i Group jumped on a potential deal news. So the index is balancing winners and losers, but the broader uptrend is still intact, up nearly 14% year over year. However, the showdown of the US government shutdown is still lingering, with delayed payroll data and Fed policy uncertainty acting as a global overhang. Looking at the charts, technically the FTSE is consolidating just below that record high at around 9,450. Immediate support lays at 9,420, while resistance remains at that peak itself. A break above could open the door to fresh highs, but if sellers press harder, we could see a pullback towards 9,360. In short, the FTSE is standing on the edge of a cliff. Will it take flight or will it step back? As we head into the weekend, the big question is whether markets will cool off or if Monday will open with fireworks, especially with the US government shutdown drama still in play. So go and enjoy your break. But don't be surprised if next week kicks off with more plot twists than your favorite Netflix binge. And with that, we wrap up your daily market brief brought to you by ATFX Africa, the broker that gives you an edge in today's markets. Simply head over to ATFX Africa by clicking the link in the description and go and experience the difference for yourself. It is until next time, stay sharp, stay focused, and trade smart.